Man, what's up? It's your boy Tyrone on the back in the building with another edition of What's Really Good Entertainment. If you're just checking in for the first time, hit that like button on the way in the door, hit the subscribe button on the way out the door so you can join the squad. If you've been rocking with me, I appreciate you. Stay tuned. You know I'm gonna bring you that fire. Today we're gonna be talking about rich homie Quan, and pretty much the cause of his death. Some people call it an overdose. You know, I kind of think it was something else, but make sure you stay to the end of the video, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So, the world heard about rich homie Quan way back when him and Young Thug did that song called Lifestyle. Did a lot of just to live this here life. They did that with Birdman. And, you know, following that song, you know, rich homie Quan, he kind of blew up. He became a household name. He did, you know, quite a few songs with Thugger, but he was actually doing music before that. And you could tell that when him and Thug was doing music back then, you know, that it was a lot of love. Pretty much Atlanta was together. Everybody was rocking with each other. It was just something about the Birdman element that entered into the equation that caused a big division. Now, in no way am I saying that it was Birdman intentions to cause a division, you know, in the Atlanta music scene, but I think that Birdman, he looked at it like, okay, so, you know, you got some real talent down there. Just like Gucci Mane, you know, he had took an interest in Memphis in terms of exploring the talent out there. So Birdman, he was kind of, you know, ahead of his game in terms of, you know, search for talent. And he planted his flag down there in Atlanta. And as a result of him trying to sign Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan, it started a real big beef. See, because Rich Homie Quan was signed to Nut, Think It's a Game Records, who was also label mates with YF and Lucci. So they had their little thing going on, and, you know, maybe Nut looked at it like, you know, Birdman, he's a big dog in the music industry, and he think he gonna come down here and take my artist. And it just, you know, it just caused some smoke. Well, fast forward from then to now, Nut wound up losing his life. Young Thug is currently on trial facing RICO charges, and it's alleged that he had something to do with the killing of Big Nut. YF and Lucci been in jail for the past few years, facing RICO charges. Said that, you know, it's alleged he did a drive-by and, you know, Young Thug in them hood, and one of his peoples got killed and he tossed him out of the car. And then now you got rich homie Quan, who just lost his life recently, and his funeral was just conducted, you know, not too long ago. And it's crazy how people been saying that, you know, his girl set him up. You know, she slipped a Mickey in a drink. She, you know, poisoned him. Or his brother, you know, poisoned him because of whatever reason. And it's like Rich Homie Quan been with his girlfriend for 15 years. You know, they got kids together. She lived with him as well as his brother lived with him. Rich Homie Quan was the breadwinner of the family. So, you know, for them to wait until now, or to right now at this point in time, to take him out when he was about to start working on some other music, that don't sound like it made sense. I mean, there's been a lot of interviews that Rich Homie Quan did where he said that, you know, he was battling a drug addiction. You know, that was his way of coping, staying higher in life, be it if he was smoking some of that loud pack, you know, he was leaning from left to right, or, you know, he was popping some of them irks or whatever they call it. But I just think that, you know, just based on everything that happened and how it played out, you know, all of the people that Rich Homie Quan lost, and then he lost Thug, which was a brother. I mean, they music collaborations together was something, you know, out of this world. And because of the beef that was going on, you know, Rich Homie Quan had lost that brotherhood. So even in looking around nowadays, you know, where he's looking at the rap game, He didn't want to sign to nobody, and he really didn't trust nobody. He really didn't trust too many people because of what he experienced already. And I just feel like it was really, really weighing, heavy on his heart and weighing heavy on his conscience. And you know, that's ultimately what resulted in him losing his life. You could say it was the pills, you could say it was the drink, you could say it was, whatever it is that you want to call it, but that man was hurting inside. Here it is, he lost the dude who had put him on, which is Big Nut, one of his big supporters. Um, you know, Wyeth and Lucci, his label mate, like, they was the only two on the label at the time, but they was making a lot of noise. And then you see Wyeth and Lucci went on, to blow up, to shoot past the stars. And Rich Homie Quan took a little hiatus because it was like it took a toll on him. See, everybody that's in the streets is not really trying to be in the streets, if you know what I mean. Like, some people was in the streets because they was poor, they had to get a dollar. They did that until other opportunities presented themselves, and then when those other opportunities presented themselves, they stuck with that. People like maybe Wyeth and Lucci, maybe was still running around in the streets, or Young Thug was still running around in the streets because that was more in their veins. But Quan, you could tell he just really, really wanted to do music, and he had got some bad, bad breaks. And sometimes that's what this street life do. Sometimes that's what you losing folk, and you know, your focus sending people up out of here, and they sitting in jail for the rest of their life. And all of this is sitting on your conscience, so you just really trying to medicate that pain. You just like, yo, I just want to disappear. I don't want to feel, like I don't want to think. I just want to, just have my mind in another dimension and just make some music and just be in a good spirit. And that was something that Quan was battling with. I mean, it's deep though. It's really, really deep because, like I said, Young Thug was his brother. He lost that relationship. They had a beef at one time. They was going back and forth. Lil Woody, who was one of Young Thug's associates, said that he had shot at Rich Homie Quan for the barbershop. And it's like, imagine how that made Rich Homie Quan feel, hearing that, like, wow, one of Thug people shot at my father barbershop. Like, for what? Like, what did, like, what did I do? What did we do? How did it come to this point in time where you coming at me and I ain't never try to do you nothing. Like, all we did was make good music together. So that's just kind of crazy. And Rich Homie Quan was battling, like, with all of that. And that's only the things that we know about. That's only the things that's on the surface. So they say right now they wait for the autopsy results to come through, to clear, Rich Homie Quan brother, and to clear his girlfriend. But I'm going to say something about this before the autopsy results even come through. Like, the internet is about, like, conspiracy theories and, making a juicy story and stuff like that. But Rich Homie Quan girlfriend benefited nothing from him losing his life, because he was the one that was handling all of those responsibilities, and now it would be left on her to handle. And it's only but so long whatever money gonna last before it run out, and then where she go from there. Now she's a single mother raising kids. Like, that don't make no sense. And then his brother, like, I understand the circumstances was kind of, it was kind of crazy, because the brother said he woke up and saw Rich Homie Quan laying on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning with food in his mouth. So he picked him up and put him on the sofa, because in his mind he's like, yo, then he sleep, he knocked out. So boom, let me put him on his sofa. And then his girl woke up at 6 something to take the kids to school. She see him laying on the couch. Boom, she left. She come back. He probably stayed up late. She like, he's sleeping. She took a nap, wake up at 11 o'clock, and then she like go to wake him up. That's all normal behavior. There's nothing conspiracy about that. It's not like people wake up or people up 3 o'clock in the morning and like, oh, let me check him to see if he got a pulse. Let me call an ambulance because he laying on the floor asleep. No, people get faded. People be drinking. They be doing, whatever they drug of choice is, and they be falling out, and they just, they just enjoying a vibe. So, that's kind of how his brother was looking at it. And he put him on the couch. And then for the girl, she see him sleep. She know he working on music. She know he stay up late. So her thing is like, man, let me rush and get these kids to school. Come back, oh, he still sleep. All right, let me take a nap, and then I'm gonna get up with him in a few. But now when she get up and she's like, nah, it's 11 o'clock. Hold on. He got to get up. He still ain't in the same spot or whatever. And that's when she found out. So for people to say like they set him up, they slipped him a Mickey, what they going to do? Be together and enjoy his money? Like he probably didn't even leave a will. What they going to do? Wear his jury? Like, come on, you got to make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Rich homie Quan girl had her own jewelry because he took care. He had her living in the house, had her living in that big mansion with access to all of them cars. So she had access to everything. There was no reason for her to do anything to him. But, there's no conspiracy and there's no far-fetched analysis to say like, man, he died from a broken heart. Some dudes, they lives don't end, but they wind up, getting turned out on drugs, getting turned out on alcohol because they done went through so much PTSD. They done went through, so much loss that it just kind of take control of them. So, we just kind of got to watch like really, our circles and what we be doing out here in society, because when you live in that life, it's a lot of pain, it's a lot of trauma, it's a lot of, losses that come behind living that life. And you could be the strongest person in the world, but when you constantly losing, you constantly taking losses, and, these are people that you really, really got love for. It could take a toll out of you. And man, it just got to a point where it was just like too much weighing heavy on Rich Homie Quan heart. And, as a result, he's no longer here. But tell me what y'all think, do y'all think that it was a conspiracy that, his brother and his girlfriend, they pretty much came up with some plan or some plot, some scheme to take him out of here so they could get the insurance money and drive his cars and wear his jewelry and, be happily ever after in the house that, his name is on the mortgage? Do you think it was somebody else involved? Do you think like somebody set him up? Do you think that they kind of overlooked, like, wait, hold on, he's laying on the floor in the kitchen, like, let's, do you think it was a mistake? Do you think they overlooked something that they probably should have looked at a little bit more? Or do you think like they really, really lined him up to get him up out of here? Or do you agree with my theory and that he just really, died from a broken heart? He had took too many losses and, his heart couldn't take no more. But yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my feeling on the matter. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the content. And, let me know what y'all think, man. Because sharing the video, see that, and get it out there to other people, and, so they could get in on the conversation. They could really hear what's going on. Because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to find out what's really good. So, yeah. But that concludes another edition of What's Really Good Entertainment. Like that like button up if you appreciate the content. Share the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay locked in. I'm gonna continue to bring you this dope content. And until the next one, it's your boy Mr. Tyrone Hunter signing off. You feel me?